What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie, and since today is Sunday Fun Day, as I like to put it, I decided to go with the old school logo just for a little bit of throwback, kind of go down memory lane, look at where it all started. First and foremost, guys, have to say thank you to everyone. All the supporters of this channel have been absolutely amazing. Everyone that's been liking, subscribing, and commenting. I see you guys out there. You're amazing. And I see you girls too, okay? Gotta give credit to the guys and the girls, all right? It's a community thing right here, right? That's what we're trying to do. But it's another boring Sunday. Let's dive in. Let's have a look at what's going on. Let's see what we can pull out on this very boring, boring Sunday on crypto. But I'm here, and it's still another day in crypto. Let's discuss what's going on. So if we come over here and we look at the Bitcoin dominance, it's actually gone down a little bit. So it was at 41.7%. Now it's at 41.3%. The market cap is still respectively hovering in that mid $400 billion, $500 billion range. So what does that mean? Well, it looks like a lot of the money was coming from the altcoins going into Bitcoin, and now it seems like a small percentage of that is now getting fed back into the altcoins. So this is that time where everyone has to decide for yourself, what do you want to do? I mean, we had the opportunity to trade our alts all for Bitcoin back when it was $6,000. If anyone didn't take that opportunity, well, you might be noticing your Bitcoin comparative has been falling a little bit when you are comparing it to your alts. However, I will say this from my very short experience in the market. However, that short experience feels like 10 years. I can definitely say that this is a cyclical movement. It's a pattern that you see over and over and over again. So you basically have to ask yourself the question, do you want to sell your altcoins now to try and ride the Bitcoin train up to the moon? You could do that. Or you can take advantage of a lot of the red that we're seeing, and you can accumulate more of the coins that you are invested in, that you're interested in. My personal approach to this currently at this moment in time is I am just holding my coins, and I am investing in more of the coins that I believe in that are now at somewhat of a discount. That's my approach. I've always suggested to everybody to hold some form of Bitcoin in their portfolio. I think it helps to really hedge your bets against the volatile market. But in the end, like I said, it does go up, it does go down. That's just the markets, guys. But yeah, you're going to have to do what you want on that one. I can't give you financial advice as far as that goes. Your best bet is to just hold some Bitcoin. That way you don't really have to frustrate yourself over, oh no, Bitcoin's going up, should I sell? Or oh no, Bitcoin's going down, should I? No, if you own a good chunk of Bitcoin, or at least a small chunk, and then you have your alts, you're pretty much good. You can pretty much hedge yourself against that volatility. So, but that's something that you'll figure out. If you're new to this and you just got involved, you'll figure out over time that that little bit of Bitcoin in your portfolio, it's always going to kind of help balance everything out, because, you know, Bitcoin is the big dog, the big daddy. So yeah, not going to go into much about that. You guys probably already know, but I did want to talk about how on my live stream the other day, Nexus was pumping to the moon. It was up like 140%, right? And as we could see here, now I'm clearly zooming into just the past couple days or week, but look at this. So we had this crazy run up here, right? So it started right here, right around here, when we had this $2.44 Nexus, and then boom, it went all the way to the moon. We had a $5.18 Nexus, and we have the sell-off again. So yeah, the markets are volatile, guys. So the whole thing that I always try to stress is get into the projects that you believe in, accumulate on the way down, accumulate on the way up. And if you're just totally freaked out and scared and don't know what to do, you can always just buy Bitcoin, right? I mean, Bitcoin has essentially been a pretty good hedge against most of the volatility in the market. Granted, it's pretty volatile itself, but once again, that's your decision. I also wanted to discuss that Knowles had it looks like it's starting to kind of do this, this is not a double bottom by any means, but it's kind of starting to do this thing right here. I saw Data Dash over at, or Nicholas Merton over at Data Dash. He was talking about how he was putting a position into Knowles, and he was looking to do a potential swing trade off of it. I don't know if that's influencing the market at this point on Knowles. I actually covered Knowles in a video probably over a month and a half ago at this point. So at a market cap of $81 million, considering what Knowles is trying to achieve, just being transparent, guys, I don't own any Knowles, but it's an interesting project, and if it's something that you believe in, regardless of whether or not, Data Dash is doing a swing trade on it or whatnot, a market cap of $81 million, considering maybe potentially the potential of this coin in the future, you're going to have to do your own research on that. But I just thought that was kind of interesting how these bigger influential YouTubers will say something, and then boom, the coin will go to the moon, and it's not really going to the moon right now, but I just thought it's funny how it almost correlates exactly with when a influential YouTuber will come out and say something, and then there'll be that spike, So honestly, guys, if you want to make some quick cash, I shouldn't even say this out loud, but anytime a bigger, not me, I'm just a small fish in the pond, but anytime a big name YouTuber, puts out a video or goes live about a coin, you can pretty much do like a quick instant, like, kind of day trade on that coin. 9 times out of 10 it'll work for you, but I wouldn't really suggest that, but you can give it a shot if you want. So moving on to this. Now, this already happened, so yes, this is old news. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but okay, I'm in New York, so around 7 o'clock this morning, the COSS.io fork officially happened, and what they did was they converted their coin from an ERC20 to an ERC223. So you might be hearing a little bit more about this coming out in the future. And I just wanted to break down to you what exactly is the ERC223. Well, it's basically a new standard token for contracts built on Ethereum. So I'll just take a really quick, some of the advantages of it is that you don't have to worry about transferring to the wrong address. So, if you send an ERC20 token to an address that's incorrect, you're going to lose your funds. It's going to get lost in the abyss of the Ethereum world forever, and you'll never be able to recover it. However, with the new ERC223 standard, which doesn't have quite as much of a ring as ERC20, I really like the ring of that, but it is what it is, you won't be able to lose funds if you accidentally send them to the wrong address. So, also, they're saying that tokens that the COSS exchange doesn't support will instantly be rejected as part of obviously sending it to the wrong address or not accepting them. And also, some of the improvements down here you can look at is that they're claiming that ERC223 is a perfect solution to the most common user mistake, which is depositing tokens to the wrong address. The contract eliminates the need for cross-chain transactions in the case of ERC20 and ERC223 type tokens are being sent to the wrong wallets. The contract prevents the tokens from being lost accidentally when sent to an incompatible wallet. They are transferred to the correct wallet automatically, not manually. They're going to have faster completion of deposits and withdrawals. Depositing tokens to contracts that happen in a single step will take less time and effort and consume twice as less gas. So that's pretty cool because honestly, guys, Ethereum transactions for the most part are pretty cheap. I have to say they're respectively pretty cheap, but this is going to make them even cheaper. And then with this process in place, the FSA will also see some major improvements. So that is what's going on with that. It already happened, so I'm not going to harp too much on that, but for those of you that were interested in what the heck it is, you can come over there and check that out at their at the information that the fork is providing. In other news, I was over here checking out Reddit cryptocurrency, and they say that the CEO of Ripple and the president of Coinbase are going to be going live Tuesday this week at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Fast Money. The CEO of Ripple and the president of Coinbase. Been a lot of speculation about what's going to be the next token that's going to get added to Coinbase. Now, of course, we can all throw our predictions out there and see what it is. But it's funny, I don't have it right now, but if you pull up a Google map of the location of the Coinbase headquarters to the Ripple headquarters, it's literally like a block and a half away or something like that, like 2 blocks away. So I assume that these guys are in a lot of communication with each other, and yeah, you guys can do what you want with that. I mean, you know me, I don't own any Ripple. I don't invest in Ripple. It's not my thing. It's not my personal favorite coin, but if you're a Ripple holder, you know, do you, whatever. That's the beauty of the free market, right? Just do what you want. Let the people's vote, let the people's money stand for whatever they think is the most valuable, you know? And I think that that's a better form of system, instead of having somebody just tell me like, this is $1, this is worth $1 because we say so, except that 50 years ago, this dollar could buy you like a bicycle, right? And now this dollar, I don't know, can't even get you a pack of gum after taxes. So, I don't know. Better system in my opinion, but if you guys are interested, you want to watch that, 5 o'clock Tuesday, there you go. That's something you can look at. Also, I thought this was so funny. So there has been so many of these scams on Twitter with these dudes and these, or I don't know who they are, but they'll just post, right? So like Vitalik will post, and then somebody pretending to be Vitalik will post and tell you to like send Ethereum to a certain address. So he finally changed his name to Vitalik. No, I'm not giving away ETH. Buterin. So I thought that was really funny. But the even funnier thing about that is that these hackers, not even hackers, these scam artists found their own little loophole around it, and they decided to still reply with a fake, which is Vitalik Buterin, right? And they say, please avoid any ETH promotions. I will, however, share my leftover BTC with my followers. Simply send me Bitcoin, and you will receive so much Bitcoin. Guys, I go over this probably once to twice a week. Do not ever send your Ethereum or Bitcoin or any of your coins to any public figure, including myself, that is, not a public figure, but anyone in the crypto space that is ever claiming to give you more money for less money. That's insane. That's crazy. Don't do it. Stop giving your money to the scammers. Enough is enough, guys. All right, moving on, now that we're in the Twitterverse, I do want to say that you guys know I've been a fan of ETHOS for quite some time. I got involved in it back when it was Bitcoins. And, you know, I've been a fan of it. You know, obviously they're taking a little bit of time to really roll this out. You know, unfortunately, we're seeing things like Robinhood come out with these, but they are going to have that universal wallet. They're going to be having some kind of a social platform on top of it. I've seen the user interface. It looks absolutely beautiful. And I just wanted to point out that they actually did this tweet not too long ago saying the talented Mia Alexander joins us from My Crypto and My Ether wallet as DevOps engineer. That's pretty freaking cool, guys. So bringing her wealth of experience in cloud computing and blockchain infrastructure development to add to the Ethos Dream Team will be amazing. Welcome, Mia. Thank you, Mia. You're awesome. And she says that our mission is to create a world with ecosystems built for the individual person that the next generation can leverage to succeed. So, guys, I actually did try using MyCrypto.com versus my Ether wallet. Currently right now, they don't really seem to be much different. It feels very similar to me, but maybe in the future, my crypto is claiming to be able to roll out a lot more features moving forward. So as of right now, my Ether wallet or my crypto, they basically both do the same thing at this point, but I'm really excited to see the future of my crypto. And it's really nice to see that the Ethos team has expanded their, you know, dev position to somebody like Mia. And that being said, I feel like a topic of today's video is I'm really happy to see more women in the crypto space. You know, I'm not one of these like crazy, you know, feminist type people. I mean, I'm just like I'm like a people. Is that like a thing? Can I just like love all people? You know, men, women, animals. I love animals. I love the world, you know? And I think that all of us should have an opportunity to share in the amazingness of blockchain moving forward. So congratulations, Mia, and congratulations to Ethos. I'm glad to see that addition to the team. Also, because we're also just on a Twitter frenzy right now, so Alchemint, something I've been extremely interested in. They're going to be a huge part of the Neo ecosystem moving forward, along with Ontology. Elastos as well is going to be heavily involved, and Alchemint is going to create that stable currency into the Neo ecosystem, although it's been very mysterious. It's been very mysterious, right? We all want to know. However, their English white paper is on its way. It's being translated, and you can bet as soon as it is, this guy is covering it, because I want to know more about Alchemint, okay? Because this thing is just one of the most interesting projects to me. as of this week personally. So I'm definitely pumped about that. Also, I don't know why I have to reload this, but I just wanted to let you guys know that ZEBI has officially been added to ICOdrops. You can come over and check all of their information here. Unfortunately, I think the whitelist is closed at this point, but yeah, guys, ZEBI, they definitely flew under the radar. I felt pretty honored to have covered them so early. Now I'm seeing guys like Supoman talk about them, and I'm seeing them really get brought to the space. So I don't want to say that you heard it here first, but you kind of heard it here first, guys. So, but yeah, congratulations, ZEBI, for really getting out there. I've seen them doing some ads on, Bitcoin, Bitcoinist, and a lot of other things. So that's really cool for those guys. Also, here is a big story I wanted to bring to you guys. So I was telling you guys about the Achain Ask Me Anything that happened it was 3 days ago. But I never, I never had a chance to go into some of the key points that I took away from this Ask Me Anything. So I decided to highlight some of my favorite parts of it. And here are some questions that people were asking. So they said, let me see right here. Yeah, so one of the big questions was what investor business meetings were the highlight of the 2017 to 2018 US Crypto Conference Tour. But they replied first of all, this is Eric from Achain. He says that we will have more crypto conferences in USA and UK in 2018 and build our office in Silicon Valley. So somebody right here, they asked, Achain is 3 years old now, and at the rate of which cryptocurrencies has evolved in that time, it seems like a decade. And I think you and I can agree, right? I mean, if you've even been in this for a month, it feels like a freaking decade. So has Achain considered the possibility of rebranding to further reach the new investors, especially in the Western market, and reflect on the new goals and its current progress? So, I made that joke about how the Achain logo kind of looks like the Google Drive logo. And, hearing things with the word chain, right? It's kind of getting played out. So they basically said that Achain values its investors, and they're aggressively increasing the number of smart contracts based on Achain and participating in various meetups and conferences around the world to expand Achain's influence. They said, yes, we will have a rebranding. Okay, nice. And a new white paper released in Q2. And I think this is due to community demand. They say Achain is approaching marketing agencies worldwide, especially in America, Europe, Korea, and Southeast Asia. They will help Achain in local marketing activities, and they said their new website is going to be released in Q2. So moving on to some other questions that I found to be of value in this Ask Me Anything. Somebody says, with Neo as your main competitor, uh-oh, guys, we're getting into crazy territory right here, right? What is Achain doing, or what do they plan on doing differently that might disrupt the marketplace and potentially surpass Neo in the future? It has been rumored that Neo will be able to scale well past 1,000 transactions per second. Will Achain be able to do the same? So to their response, they said that Achain is aggressively increasing the number of smart contracts based on Achain and participating in meetups and conferences around the world with a view to expand Achain's influence. Achain is confident in its technical strength, and Achain is always aiming at higher efficiency. The current transactions per second of Achain is 1,000, which is the same as Neo currently, and they're working to improve it. They say they have increased the block capacity, reduced the interval of block generation, and optimized codes for higher efficiency. Then the follow-up question is, what is your current opinion on the fork theory that you guys have set out? Do you believe that is going to be working and is future-proof? So their answer is they firmly believe that with the correctness of the forking network, a single public chain cannot carry too many applications. This is risky. In the case of one dApp taking up too much of the available resources, it will negatively affect other dApps. So guys, if we've seen this with I always use this term, but everybody knows about it. Look what happened with CryptoKitties with Ethereum. So you do have to ask yourself, running everything on the main chain versus having those side chains, or, as Elf called it, those branches, or Lisk has side chains. So the advantage to running something on a side chain is that if the network gets congested, you're not going to put too much stress on the main chain, which is something that we have to consider moving forward, because if we want blockchain technology to push its way into the future and be an actual feasible, usable structure or way of I can't think of really what I'm trying to say, but essentially, if you're going to be using something that's run on blockchain, we do know that you have to have block times. You have to have block generation, and unfortunately, there is that time in between. So scaling, I mean, people have been calling out scaling for quite some time. I mean, last year we had some issues with scaling, and I think this year we're going to have even more issues with scaling. And if you think this is the end, it's not. This is only the beginning. Scaling solutions are going to be one of the biggest, most important topics moving forward, because if we cannot figure out how to scale, we are going to be stuck and limited, and that is going to stifle the entire cryptocurrency blockchain sphere as a whole. So yeah, I'm really happy to see that they are addressing that. So obviously they say the scaling of Neo will be supported by Trinity, which can handle off-chain transactions. The question is if this or another solution is possible for Achain or Achain's forks. And their response to that is that Trinity is a capable expansion solution for NEP5 protocol tokens, which is similar to the principle of the Lightning Network. The main difference between Neo and Achain, for those of you that really want to know the main difference, is that Neo is going to host more applications by expanding its capacity on a single chain. So we do realize that Neo is going to be hosting it on the same chain, utilizing those second layer protocols like Trinity, and then you have Ethereum with the second layer protocols like Raiden Network, okay? But Achain is saying that they prefer to keep separate applications so that each dApp will be supported by its own single public chain, as I just mentioned, and after the completion of 3 phases of work, they will consider the fragmentation technology to solve the expansion problem. Another thing I wanted to highlight was somebody asked, it seems that there has been news in Asia that the partnerships in Korea with Myco, just to name a few, that haven't been announced officially into English-speaking venues. Their question is, Western investors are wondering when and how those details will be announced to the US, especially in English. Also, what percentage of marketing efforts will be directed to Western versus Asian customers? And their response was, we are undergoing a lot of negotiations from some big marketing firms in the United States, Europe, Korea, and the SEA market, and more news will be coming. So Achain is officially allocating their marketing budget to 80% Western, 20% Eastern, which is kind of what we've been wanting because Achain is clearly just flying under the radar. And then finally, they say that the ABTC crew, which is the fork that everyone got on KuCoin, ABTC, which just so you guys know, ABTC is only affiliated to Achain due to the fact that they forked off of the main chain. Outside of that, there's no real true connection between ABTC to, Achain themselves outside of that. So their simple answer to that is, let me get on to the question. It says, does this mean that the Achain platform itself is scalable without the need to turn off ledger microtransactions like Trinity and Raiden are offering to Neo and Ethereum respectively? And their answer is yes. Then somebody says, I consider the 1 billion token as a huge number that can possibly freeze prices. Also, when you release 10 million tokens to each circulation each month, it harms holders by inflation. So we've seen what inflation has done to the US dollar, right? Do you plan on burning the tokens in the future? They literally just gave a link to this Medium article, and if you come over here, you can actually see that the team is completely transparent about where all of the Achain is stored. You can come down here and realize that the total supply is 1 billion, circulating supply being roughly 466 million at the time of making this video, and you can literally look. Here is the address. Here's the address right here, and this is the early investor circulating supply, and that's where that Achain will be allocated. Then they have the Achain founder circulating supply here plus here. You guys can go on the Achain block explorer. You can see for yourself where the money is. These guys are being completely open and transparent. They're not trying to hide anything, and I think that's really commendable. So in other news, Apex Network, which is the next generation of consumer brand interactions, now they are currently on the Neo blockchain, and they are saying that they're happy that they have announced that due to substantial interest and support in the Korean market, they've opened up an official Apex Korean community channel as of today. And also, they will be opening another channel for people in Japan. So that is really awesome. They're spreading out to other avenues. They're getting more people involved. And, we do still have that language barrier in crypto because crypto never sleeps, right? It never sleeps. So you have to be able to communicate with people at all times. I mean, even when I'm running my live streams, it's like super difficult for me to pick a time of the day when everyone can log in and watch it, because there really is no perfect time, because somewhere in the world it's midnight, right? So somebody's sleeping. So it's nice to see that they're branching out to other communities of different, geographical locations to get the message and provide that community support. Also, guys, TRON, their mainnet, it's apparently coming sooner than expected. So I came down here from this article from Bitcoinist, and it says that the mainnet is actually going to be launched 1 month earlier than it was originally scheduled, but you can still expect the testnet to be arriving around March 31st. Now, I don't talk about TRON a lot on this channel, but for those of you that are interested in TRON, that's pretty cool. Their mainnet's coming out a little bit sooner. And for those of you that don't exactly understand the different layers, they explain that the first layer, because people are like, well, what exactly is the mainnet, right? So if you're interested, you can come over to bitcoinist.com and read the article. They explain that the first layer is going to be a storage layer. The second layer is going to be a core layer. I'm not going to go into details. You guys can read this yourself. And then finally, they talk about the killer app, which has been the terminology that they've been throwing around all over the place. However, they've still not really truly released what the details of this killer app are. So is this just more news about news about news about news? About news? I don't know, guys. But, I mean, I know TRON has seen quite the roller coaster of a ride, so to those of you that might be holding TRON bags, this could be of interest. Also, in other news, ARK and Blockport partnership, nothing new, but something that I wanted to highlight about the updates is that for those of you that don't know, Blockport is going to have a hybrid decentralized architecture that allows for decentralized storage of funds on multiple blockchains. So together with the community, ARK has developed the ACES project, or the ARK Contract Execution Service, which will connect multiple blockchains and allow for value transfers between them. So Blockport is going to explore the possibility of integrating their own service with the ARK service. So ACES is going to provide them with the ability to react to transactions on a variety of blockchain by exposing an API that allows them to efficiently listen to transactions and events. It also is going to allow for a flexible integration in terms of exchange rates and interoperability between services, meaning that Blockport can adopt ACES inside of the exchange's infrastructure that they are currently realizing without heavy changes to their architecture. Another thing I wanted to mention down here was both projects are going to closely work together on a cross-chain transaction. Therefore, in line with their partnership, they're going to share the news. Well, they are sharing the news right now that ARK is going to be listed as one of the first coins on Blockport in Q2. So they say listing ARK will provide both communities with the opportunity to trade ARK against Euro. So you're going to be able to trade ARK against the Euro. That's pretty cool, guys. So in the near future, they say, and you'll be able to buy ARK with euros directly within the ARK desktop wallet. The wallet integrations will allow users to trade ARK directly from the wallet. So you could do your trading inside of the wallet. And that's scheduled for a release Q3 this year. All right, guys, I just thought that was really cool news from the ARK team. And also, if you guys are interested, I wanted to remind you that March 19th, ARK CTO, oh boy, here comes the name, I'm not going to say it. ARK CTO is going to be presenting at the University of Geneva on March 19th about blockchain technology and ARK by the invitation from the Computer Science Department of UNIGE. Okay? So if you guys are interested, that is potentially something that you may want to attend if you are a huge ARK supporter. Also, I found this really interesting article that was inspired by Andreas Antonopoulos, who, if you guys don't know who he is, he's like one of the original dudes in the space, really pushed stuff back in the day. He still does speeches. He's been living off Bitcoin for like almost a decade. And then Roger Ver, he had that tweet about how he could have made all this money had he invested earlier, and then people donated all this money to him, and it was really cool. You know, it's nice to see the community giving back. So this article basically goes in to talk about how language was the first jump for humans, then religion was the second, and then money was probably the single largest jump, being that gold very quickly became a global language and currency. Money talks. Am I right? As the author puts it. So it's true. I mean, money is something we all understand. You know, I can go to a country, I can't speak your language, but if I put some dollars on the table, you understand it. And, you know, if I put some Bitcoin in your wallet, you understand it. So money is like the third language of the world, or maybe even the first language of the world in a strange way if you look at it. And it talks about how, you know, it used to be a bit of a pyramid scheme where, you know, you had to kind of like trust the guys at the top to provide you with what they considered to be a valid form of currency. You know, trust us. We promise you that this means something. We swear to you that these pieces of paper mean something, or that, you know, tulip bulb mania people like to talk about. So basically the takeaway from this article is that blockchain is built on a system of trust. And one of my favorite things is the ending. They say Bitcoin isn't about money. It's not disrupting finance. It's disrupting hierarchy, okay? So they go, Skype didn't ask for permission, right? Now I can make free phone calls worldwide. They didn't ask for permission. Uber didn't ask for permission, right? Uber came out, completely disrupted transportation as we know it. They didn't ask for permission. Airbnb, one of the biggest hotel places to stay, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't, not hotels, but they don't actually own anything, right? Like, think about it. Like Uber doesn't actually own any cars. Airbnb doesn't actually own a hotel or a motel, right? And they didn't ask permission. You know, self-driving cars literally didn't ask permission when they rolled out into California streets. So you got to think about that. You know, moving forward, you have to realize that some of these innovations don't need the permission, they just need the trust. And I think trust is one of the most important things, which is why, guys, if you don't know, I'm extremely interested in, you know, ontology and the neo blockchain, because that's all based on trust. And I think trust is the way we're going to move forward, because we are just tired of taking things for face value, or just being spoon-fed a bunch of information that we're just supposed to just lay on our backs and be like, yeah, okay, cool, sounds good, let's do it, right? So just want to throw that out there. That was a pretty good article. Also, there was this futurist that said that he believes that cryptocurrency will overtake fiat by 25% by 2030. So to quote, I forgot the guy's name already, Thomas Frey, he says that, he's scheduled to address the U.S. Fed officials about cryptocurrency later this year. And he equated Bitcoin transactions to real estate deals. Instead of physical property, the seller is letting go of a digital chunk in the cloud, and his categorization isn't too far removed from how the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, or the IRS, depicts cryptocurrencies as property, though Bitcoin transactions aren't subject to the same tax benefits as real estate sales. Personally, I'm just going to be realistic. I think this is going to happen a lot faster than 2030. Maybe I'm super optimistic. Maybe it's because I'm personally like in the space and I just like eat, breathe, and sleep crypto. I don't think it's going to take that long. I think once people realize the true intrinsic value of what this actually is, and you actually have the ability to take part in a free market where you put your money where you believe in, and we can invest in whatever we want, right? I mean, we don't have to just own $1. You know, I can own Omise Go. That can be money. I can have Ethereum. I can have gas. I can have Trinity Network Protocol. I can own high performance blockchain. I can own credits, right? And I think that's going to create that new economy where the money is going to be redistributed and the free market is going to decide the value instead of being told what the value of my assets are. So, yeah, nice article. I think it's going to happen quicker. Also, Quebec said that they are not interested in Bitcoin mining. They said they're not. So Premier Philip Colliard says, if you want to come settle here, plug in your servers and do Bitcoin mining, we're not really interested. There needs to be added value for our society. Just having servers to do transaction mining and acquire new Bitcoins, I don't see the added value. That's a shame, buddy. That's really a shame that you don't see the added value of literally becoming one of the early adopters of the most trustless, secure, transparent, and safe means of exchange of all time. That's a shame. You should really get on board with that. But scrolling down, it says, meanwhile, here in New York, yeah, represent, guys, you know where I'm from. Meanwhile, authorities earlier last month granted permission for a full-scale Bitcoin mining setup to begin operating based on added jobs and economic value it would bring to the local community. So yeah, that's what's up, guys. Let's all start our own Bitcoin mining because New York's all for it. So I got some nice land out back. We can set up a facility and you guys all will start our own Bitcoin mining pool. Why not, right? That's what it's all about. Friendly competition. Also, they say that in this article that venture capitalists' investment in blockchain companies are on track to exceed that of 2017. Now, guys, if I come down here to this chart, 2017 saw a lot. Okay, we had one of the biggest investments in cryptocurrency and blockchain technology that we have seen since the inception of the original Bitcoin white paper, but they are predicting that we are going to see even more moving forward in the future. I agree. 100%. I think that blockchain technology, although maybe it's not applicable to everything, I think that it's definitely going to find its way in, and I think that we are going to be seeing more and more and more of these companies and projects adopting blockchain technology. For example, we've seen the demand for the Amazon blockchain coin. We're seeing Starbucks begin to look into it, and these are household names. Everybody knows, right? Starbucks, Amazon, who doesn't know those names? They're interested in blockchain technology. So there is that argue as cryptocurrencies versus blockchain. You know, blockchain, yes, crypto, no. Well, that's an opinion, okay? I think that there will be that ultimate symbionts relationship between blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, and I think moving forward, we will find a balancing point. I do see a lot of projects failing. I just got to be honest with you. There's not going to be room for all of them, but there will be the ones that rise like the phoenix from the ashes, and those are the ones that we will see applied in everyday life, in the background, while you're driving your car, when you're going to the grocery store, and you're going to have no idea it's even happening. Moving on also to investments and people getting involved in blockchain, I wanted to talk about this article that was discussing the narrowing of the blockchain gender gap. So we do see that there are a lot of males involved in blockchain and cryptocurrency. I mean, I personally have done my own demographics of my own channel, and my channel is primarily watched by roughly 93 to 94% males. However, we are seeing that women are becoming more and more interested into the blockchain space. And obviously, we've seen a lot of things, just in general. Obviously, I don't want to get political on this channel, but we have seen things about women's wages not being as high as men's wages and, being held down and all. And, obviously, this is something that we've heard about before. So they say that women are only currently representing between 4 and 6% of blockchain investors, which is hilarious because I just said that about 94% of my channel's viewers are male. So that literally goes exactly with that percentage. And they said, while it's still the early innings for blockchain, that makes the gender imbalance that much more of a concern. And they decided to post a tweet from this woman right here, Alexia Bonatsas. I don't know who that is, but she says that women consider crypto. Oh, she's saying women consider crypto. Otherwise, the men are going to get all the wealth again. So yeah, guys, I've stated that on my channel over and over and over again. I've used the analogy, Bitcoin doesn't care if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're from Asia, if you're from America, if you're from Africa, if you're from Australia, New Zealand, they don't care where you're from, okay? Bitcoin doesn't care if you're an alien. Bitcoin doesn't care if you're a machine. Bitcoin doesn't care about anything at all. Bitcoin is probably the most non-racist, non-sexist, non-against gender ever. Crypto is crypto. Anyone can buy in, anyone can own a coin, anyone can share their information on a trustless public ledger, and because of that, I highly would say that, yeah, get involved, guys. Men, women, aliens, machines, get involved, guys, because, yeah, it's one of those few opportunities in life where there is still that opportunity to prosper and get involved and not have some dictatorship or some other form of hierarchy structure that is telling you what you can and can't do. So continuing on the article, they say some suggest that as far as women are concerned, it's an inferiority complex driven by the notion that you need a PhD to succeed in the space. Guys, I don't have a PhD and I'm doing all right. So a misconception that one female crypto investor attempted to squash in the Time story. But she says it doesn't help when blockchain engineers are mistaken for models or whose qualifications are questioned, which happen to be women, including engineering students pursuing careers in cryptocurrencies. Yeah, I mean, I don't really even know what that means. I'm a man, I'm attracted to women, so if you're like a real sexy blockchain advocate, that's like double the fun. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what people look like. I don't know what half of my viewers look like, and I really don't care. As long as we're in it for, we're in it for the same purposes, it doesn't matter to me. So then they talked about how, they're having events that, like, for example, this Bitcoin conference that was held at a Miami strip club, which is not exactly female friendly. And then they go on to explain that the number of female founders among blockchain startups is on the rise, as well as the number of female investors across crypto vehicles such as hedge funds and venture capital. In the United States, men as of January still comprise nearly 3/4 of all Bitcoin users, according to the data cited in Bloomberg. So I just wanted to basically talk about this article. I mean, we've obviously seen there's been a little bit of a gap between men and women being involved in the blockchain space, but I honestly see that getting smaller and smaller and smaller over time. Like I said, I don't have a preference. I don't care what you look like. I don't care who you are. Personally, we're in this together. We're in it for the blockchain. We're in it for the tech. And yeah, most of us are in it for the money, right? Nothing like getting rich and saving the world at the same time, or changing the world at the same time. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. Got a shout out. Oh, by the way, shout out to all the ladies. I know you're only like 6% of my followers, my subscribers, but shout out to any of the ladies following right now. I love you. I don't even know who you are. If you're watching my channel, thank you so much. We are doing it. We're early and we are going to the moon. We're going to the moon. So that being said, guys, thank you for coming back to my channel. This was a very lengthy update. I know somebody's going to be like, can't you say things faster? I don't know. I can try to talk faster, but I feel like I've been literally talking 100 miles an hour since I started. So many things to cover in the space, so many things to go over, but Sunday fun day, guys. I hope you're all having an amazing day. I hope that you're just enjoying wherever you are. Take a breather, relax, stop refreshing your portfolio all day. Just enjoy it. You're early. Yeah, the alts are taking a bit of a dip. Bitcoin had its run. We're still in that fluctuation period. It's always about price discovery, trying to figure out where your coins are, what's the worth. My advice, never financial advice, is just get involved with projects that you believe in. And that's really the best advice I can give you guys. I mean, if you want to do day trading, you can give it a shot. Most people lose money. If you want to do swing trading, be smart about it. And to those of you that don't feel like being bothered, buy some Bitcoin, buy some alts that you like, chill out. Come back in 5 years, and I'll see you on the beaches of some fancy island, and we can talk about the good old days when the Korean FUD used to crash the market, right, guys? So thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I know this was a super long video for a Sunday, but let's be real, it's kind of boring, not much going on. So if I even provided you with just an ounce of entertainment, I feel somewhat fulfilled and honored to be on your screen, on your little phone or on your computer right now. You're amazing. Thank you so much. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And as usual, of course, peace out.